PALS is the peer assisted learning scheme here at Plymouth University, and it offers students the opportunity within their programme for more experienced students to work with less experienced students studying together. The more experienced students are trained in the management and organisation and smooth running of groups.
PALS stands for Peer Assisted Learning Scheme, and we run this scheme for about 3 years now in School of Computing at Plymouth University. And it's all about having the second year students and the third year students supporting in a more friendly and comfortable environment the first year students across our all computing degrees. It's not about introducing new learning, it's about facilitating the students and mentoring the students in what they're being taught in their standard and compulsory tutorials, practical sessions or lectures.
Within our particular programme, it relates to second year students who have been trained as PALS leads to facilitate sessions with the first year students, to generate discussions with them, answer questions that they may have about the programme, to help them with module related issues, assignment writing, those sorts of things. Also to give them the opportunity to ask those questions that they might not necessarily be able to sort of pose towards the academics themselves.
I think PALS is beneficial to students because it helps both the first years and the second years to get the most out of their course. So for the first years they're very lucky, they get to benefit from the second year's experience. They've already done it all. They know what books are the best, they know how to study for the assessments that are required of them, and obviously for the PALS leaders they get an awful lot out of running the sessions. They learn new skills to do with communication, talking in front of large groups, tact and diplomacy and how to deal with people with differing needs, and also just a lot of confidence seems to come through in the second years who are being the PALS leaders, and these are all attributes that are very useful in their midwifery when they qualify.
I think it helps for them to sort of see the transition that the second years have taken throughout those 2 years, and again to just sort of get to the nitty gritty of some of those questions which they feel that they may have not been answered within the initial first few weeks, or feel that there's questions that still need to be answered. I think it's beneficial for our second years. It's been wonderful to sort of see them develop and in their confidence and to take on board new skills so that they can actually go into sessions and facilitate and manage students. I think it's beneficial because again, one thing that we encourage is when on placement, if there's senior students working alongside junior students, we encourage them to help with that kind of mentorship aspect, and that's one thing which I think PALS has really encouraged as well.
The PALS sessions are quite beneficial to the programme in general because it builds a very good relationship and it bridges the gap between the student community and the staff community. So the PALS leaders can bring to us problems, queries that the students have, and they don't feel as comfortable to share all these with the staff community.
Also, for the programme, for me particularly, in midwifery, the PALS sessions very much are connected to the biology, and it means that I get real-time feedback on my lectures and whether people are understanding the topics or not. So for the programme, it definitely means that I can respond to the students' needs very quickly.
It's beneficial to our programme because I think I'm very passionate about students' experiences within the first few weeks of university, and if you look at a lot of the literature, it's a crucial time, and I think we need to ensure that we get that sort of balance right. I think it's beneficial to the programme because of the complexities of it and the fact that students have the opportunity to, let's say, to get to grips with the programme in a short space of time, because they've only got those first few weeks and then they're thrown straight into assignments, getting ready for placements and not having much respite time in between. So I think when they've got all these sort of questions boiling up and the sort of anxieties, PALS has been a very nice outlet for those students to come and to have the opportunity to unburden themselves, to discuss, to sit down with the students, and to also have that interaction where there isn't always the presence of an academic, so it's very open.
The academic coordinator in the programme is a member of the academic programme team who also has responsibility for PALS, and that person is interested to know about what happened in the sessions, whether there were any issues arising, and where the leaders and the students are thinking that they'll go with the next PALS session.
We run a debrief once a week with all the PALS leaders after they completed their PALS session. In that debrief session, the PALS leaders share with me as the academic coordinator what they've been doing in terms of activities. They're sharing any problems the students may have in terms of the course or a specific module or anything else that worries the student community. And then we make sure that they have content for the next PALS session. We plan all together the activities for the next session. The PALS leaders can share and exchange ideas about those activities, or they can advise each other as well. If a group has a particular issue, another PALS leader may have a suggestion on how he tackled the problem or any other ideas.
A debrief, to my knowledge, is whereby the PALS leads, or in our case our second year students, would meet following a session with myself as the academic coordinator and a member of one of the PALS teams to sort of go through and feel how they felt that the session kind of ran, if there was what kind of feedback they received from it. Do they feel it's kind of addressing the sort of the needs of the session at that time, what sort of things they feel they would like to sort of develop within sort of future sessions.
After each of the PALS sessions we have a debrief, which means that my PALS leaders meet up with me for at least an hour, and what we do first of all is we go over the session they've just taken, and we discuss it and we see what went well, what didn't go so well, and just try and learn from that and take it forward. We then discuss whatever topic it is I'm going to teach the following week, and we discuss what they might want to pick out of that to do in their PALS sessions to focus on, and we plan ahead for the next session as well. It's very much an equal meeting between all of us. It's not me asking them to do anything. They give me so much information towards my module and what I'm teaching that it's very collaborative, that work in the debrief.
What excites me about PALS, I think, as I expressed earlier, I'm very passionate about student experiences. And I think about my original experiences of sort of university myself. I think it's nice to have the opportunity to get to grips with the programme early on, to feel that you're not the only person there, to have that interaction between different year groups. Again, I think from that mentorship point of view, mentorship is a key part of it, and students having the opportunity to discuss with other students, also to have the opportunity myself to sort of sit down with the second year PALS leads, and to sort of get to grips with how they feel things are going, and to sort of see them developing their own skills, and also to see to have sort of hear from them rather the feedback that they're getting, to see how students are kind of progressing in those first few weeks, and sort of obviously the positive things that are coming from that.
As an academic coordinator for PALS, I find the most exciting thing about the sessions is, as much as anything, the growth within the second years. And they become so much more mature and confident, due partly to the training they've had, but also putting themselves out of their comfort zone, trying something new, talking in front of people, talking to people perhaps they wouldn't normally talk to, and seeing them grow in such a way in their second year is going to stand them in such good stead in their future as a midwife. The skills they've learnt will really help them. As for the students who are receiving the PALS sessions, you can see it's a really helpful resource. They really appreciate being able to talk to their peers, and to see that those people who are in the second year ahead of them aren't, they are very special, but they're not any different to them in the first year, and they can see that those people have done the first year, they've survived it and they've moved on, and that gives them real hope when they're having struggles.
As an academic coordinator, it really excites me to have this PALS scheme available to all my first years, because it gives me the ability to listen more what the students need, because you get shy students, you get students who won't come to you when they have a problem. So it's an extra facilitation, an extra support for the student community, and to get closer to them and design your modules for the forthcoming academic year, because you've got so much insight in the student community.